Hello my reptilian friends, I'm Azalea, and today we're continuing with some more Heart of the Woods. Now, I'm sorry about being gone for so long. Life was busy is all I can really say. Some stuff was happening, and I needed a break from just doing anything for a while, so that should hopefully now all be sorted, and I'm here to continue with reading more of this amazing visual novel, and hopefully more to come after it. Anyway, without further ado, let's just jump in. Last time we were here, we had met the ghost girl, so we'll just be continuing from there. Almost every step I take, I cast a glance behind me. I keep expecting to hear the crunch of snow, or spot a flash of red hair as Tara follows me. But there's nothing. I'm alone. I hurry through the woods practically on autopilot. Less than a week ago, I'd never have set foot in the forest on my own, but now I already have the path to the clearing memorized. It gives me extra time to worry. What am I even doing? Everything about this situation is extremely not me. Getting off on my own into a dark forest without telling anyone? To go meet up with a ghost? Even thinking the word ghost still makes my heart lurch. I've seen her with my own eyes, and yet I still have trouble believing it. I'm just trusting that she's not going to lead me to her lair and suck out my soul or something like that. I feel like Gretel, and I'm not even cautious enough to leave a breadcrumb trail. But still, I keep walking. There's something exciting in being on my own, in doing something without Tara. I can't remember the last time I had a secret from her. At least, not a big one. Not telling her about the ghost girl feels a little bit like rebellion. I feel like I deserve something exciting that's all on my own. She and Morgan can go do whatever. I doubt Tara will even notice that I'm not around. And even if she does, it's something that she needs to get used to. I've tried to show her how to cut a video or frame a shot lots of times. It's her own fault if she still doesn't get it. Just like it's her own fault that she's missing out now. As I approach the clearing, I slow down a little. My usual trepidation overtakes me once again as I contemplate just how reckless this is. There's absolutely no guarantee that the girl isn't dangerous, that I'll walk out of these woods alive. Normally I chastise Tara for following her gut instinct, which dictates probably 70% of her decisions. Yet that's all that I have to go off of right now. The feeling that I'm safe with the ghost girl. She won't harm me. I cross the threshold of trees and into the clearing. Just like the other times, it's serenely quiet. Even my past footsteps are gone, erased by the wind or snowfall. I'm here. Somehow, I feel like she already knows. The forest swallows my words, returning to frozen, pristine silence. Soundlessly, she steps out from behind a tree. A small smile sits on her face, though her eyes are slightly downcast. She waves, meeting my eyes for just a moment before glancing away. Hi there. My words hang in the still air. Were you waiting for me? We lock eyes again, and she nods, quickly, earnestly. I hope it wasn't for too long. She shakes her head and then she laughs. I'm not sure what the joke is, though. What? What's so funny? Once she catches her breath, she bites her lip as she ponders. After a moment, she shrugs, looking apologetic. I guess explaining a joke through gestures would be difficult. She sidles up next to me, and I fight the urge to step back. Though I've decided to trust her, my instincts still belie my nerves. what she seems to be most interested in is the bag slung over my shoulder. She simulates opening the bag so that she can look inside it. Nosy, huh? Immediately she backsteps, waving her hands in a frantic, apologetic motion. Sorry, I was just kidding. You can look. She regards me like a timid deer as I hold the bag open for her to see. Inside are a couple books that I picked up in the village this morning. I hold up the first one, small and square and baby blue. Got a really strange look from the person who runs the bookstore because of this one. It's a book of baby names. Her eyes go wide, and she grasps at her belly, then points at me. It takes me a second to understand what she means, and for some reason I feel my face flush. No, I'm not pregnant, but I thought maybe you could use it to show me your name? If it's a name that would be... Before I can finish my sentence, she zoomed back over to me, all sense of personal space once again discarded. She clasps her hands, a fiery look in her eyes, and hops up and down. Frankly, it's adorable. Guess you're a fan. Okay, cool. She eyes the book hungrily. She must be really excited to share her name with me. It's a little exciting for me too. It's nice to see someone so happy about being with me. I fight to keep an overzealous grin off my face. Okay, let's see. I look around. Aside from trees and snow, there isn't much. I wonder if there's something about this place in particular that the girl likes. Is there somewhere nearby where we could sit down? It feels a little weird to just keep standing. Finger on her chin, she ponders. Then she turns and points towards the woods, even further in. I can tell from the look in her eyes that she's uncertain. I swallow a lump in my throat. I've come this far, after all. Sure, that's fine. Lead the way. She does so, but never gets too far away from my side. Every few steps, she glances over at me, as if making sure I'm still here. That feels a little backwards to me, but in a nice way. I don't really feel compelled to break the silence either. Of course, part of that is because any conversation would be one-sided. But also, she looks content, like she's just happy to be here. I am too. Silence doesn't feel vast and overwhelming, like it has with Tara. It feels warm. For too long, I realize what our destination is. This is nearly the same path that Morgan took us down just a couple dusks ago. I recognize some of the more grotesquely warped trees. We're going to that church. Eyes wide, she nods, probably surprised that I know of it. One of the villagers showed it to us a few days ago. Me and my friend. It feels weird to just call Tara my friend. Usually if I'm talking to someone about Tara, they've met her. The girl just nods yet again. As we reach the edge of the trees and the church itself comes into sight, I look around for traces of the monster we saw days before. There are none to be seen though. No snapped or toppled trees. No footsteps as deep as I am tall. Much like the girl beside me, there's no trace of its existence. I look over to the door of the church, where she's patiently waiting for me. Once again, I fight back all my fears and hesitations, and head for the door too. It's too late to turn back now. The door is still slightly ajar from our visit days ago. A thin trail of snow powders the entryway, but otherwise the church is dry. It's still unnaturally warm. I wonder if that has to do with the girl too. From the way she walks, I can tell she's familiar with the place. She heads to the front, stopping just shy of the altar, where she turns around to face me. Being back here is a little unnerving, and I slowly approach her. Though she hasn't given me any reason to be suspicious, the image of those monstrous eyes is ingrained in my memory. But this time, there's no howling wind or earth-shaking footsteps, just the one girl, waiting patiently. I give her a smile as I sit down on one of the pews near the front. It's hewn from stone, smooth and rigid. She takes a seat right beside me. Normally, being this close to strangers makes me uncomfortable, but with her, I don't really mind. Part of it is, of course, the fact that I can't feel her at all, but the other part is that it feels kind of pleasant to sit together like this. I hastily push that thought out of my head. She's a ghost. She is literally transparent and insubstantial. I rummage through the bag and grab the book of baby names. Okay, so first, she bounces up and down with anticipation as I tear off the plastic cling wrap and stuff it in the tote bag. Is the first letter early in the alphabet? She nods and holds up one finger. I? L? 2 shakes of her head. She touches her index fingers together, then uses her middle finger to cross between them. Oh, an A. Enthusiastic nodding. I flip to the first couple of pages in the book, right in the middle of the A's. The first name I spot is Amber. Impatiently, she leans over me and motions to go further back, towards the start. I turn the pages slowly, giving her time to scan. On the very first page, she holds out a hand to stop, and points. She's practically hanging over my shoulder to show me. Abigail. Your name is Abigail. She gives me the biggest, most radiant grin I've ever seen as she nods. Her joy is infectious, and I can't help but smile too. Abigail. I repeat it, and she looks even more joyful. A beam of light breaks through the glass window, illuminating dust motes that make it look as if she's sparkling. We lock eyes, and I feel my breath catch in my throat. The look in her eyes, pure, unadulterated happiness, is something I've never seen before. They shine with tears, the good kind. The kind that bring out the color of her eyes, the radiant kind. I didn't know I could make someone happy like this. I quickly look away, back to the now irrelevant book in my lap. Anyway, Abigail. I had a couple of questions. Is that okay? Abigail nods. So, maybe this is kind of rude to ask, but are you a ghost? Or are you something else? Abigail closes her eyes and, with a sad smile, nods. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what the appropriate response to something like that is. Then, are you from Eisenfeld? Nod. Do you know a girl from there called Morgan? She shakes her head. That makes sense. I'm sure Morgan would have mentioned her before if so. So, have you, been a ghost for a long time then? I cringe a little as I ask. It seems gauche, although I'm not entirely sure what proper etiquette there is for this kind of conversation. In answer to my question, she nods again. Do you know how long? A shrug. She holds up 2 fingers and 2 fists. 200? Another shrug and a nod. 200 years. I murmur it to myself in slight disbelief. It could be more. I doubt she's been keeping track of every day. The world out there, the world I come from, it may as well be another planet for her. I'm sorry. It's incomprehensible to me. I can't fathom that much time passing. Unable to talk to anyone. How lonely that must be. She's closed her eyes yet again. Though I've been interpreting her silence as serene, I wonder if that's how she feels. These yes or no questions are practically the extent of what I can ask her. There's still such a gulf between who she is and what I know of her. Centuries worth of solitude. In all that time, have you ever spent time like this with someone else? Without opening her eyes or looking at me, she shakes her head again. I'm the only one. Nod. I fall silent too, my head still reeling. There are so many things that I want to ask and want to know. How did she die? Why did her spirit stick around? Does she know about the thing we saw in the snow? Why am I the first person she's shown herself to? There's no way she could answer, and even if she could, I wonder if she'd want to. Is it impolite to remind a ghost that they're dead? It's morbidly funny to me that these are questions I have to ask myself. Tara would love this. Tara would... I push that thought out of my head too. Tara's not here right now. It's just me and Abigail. Would you like me to read that other book? Her grin returns, the moment of melancholy dispelled. Seems I made the right call in changing the subject. I show her the cover before I crack it open, enjoying that new book smell. This is a book I read a lot when I was younger. It's about a girl who wants to be a hero, so she goes on a quest with her best friend to prove herself. It's a little childish, I guess, but maybe you'd like it? Abigail claps her hands and nods. I have a feeling I could read the dictionary to her and she'd be satisfied, but I don't mention that. Okay. I smooth a crease and open to the first page. Once upon a time. It's a story that I could probably recite by heart. My mum used to read it to me when I was a little girl, and it was one of the books that I used to learn to read. I was both surprised and excited to see that there was a copy in Eisenfeld's bookstore. I settle into an easy cadence of reading, though I'm not used to reading out loud. It starts to feel pretty natural after only a couple of pages. Like my mum used to do, I give all the characters different voices. I don't have quite the range that Mum does, but Abigail seems to enjoy it all the same. She smiles and laughs in all of the right places. It makes my heart warm to see how much she's enjoying it. Her eyes are closed yet again, but she looks quite content. As we finish chapter 2, Abigail scoots a little bit closer and rests her head near my shoulder. I pause mid-sentence, surprised, but resume just a second later. Though I can't feel her there, the sentiment is clear. I keep reading. Sometimes, when I glance down, I can see that her eyes are open, reading along. Her lips mouth the same words I am. One time she catches me looking and blushes, but I just smile and continue going. After we finish chapter 4, I finally pause. My mouth is dry, and my jaw is starting to hurt a little bit. I must have been reading aloud for close to an hour. Even though I stop, Abigail doesn't sit up or open her eyes. Her hand rests on my arm, and I set the book aside. Do ghosts need to sleep? That's another question I can ask, but maybe at a different time. Right now, I'm happy to let her pretend. Quietly, I hum a song. It's something from the radio, a title I can't remember, but that's always stuck in my head. I'm extremely off-key, I'm sure, but I don't care. It just feels right. When I stop, She finally opens her eyes and sits back up. As we gaze at each other, she mouths two words that I don't have to be good at reading lips to decipher. Thank you. No problem. I hope you liked the story. First, she claps, and then she places one hand over her heart. I laugh, flattered, also a little embarrassed. I think that's all I can do today, but we should read more sometime. If you want to, I mean. I already know the answer, but she gives an emphatic nod all the same. Okay. It's a promise. He touches her heart again, and I smile. I should probably head back to the cabin soon. People will start to get suspicious if I'm gone for too long. Abigail cocks her head like an owl, curious. I haven't told my friends about you yet. It's sort of like our secret, I guess. And I want to keep it that way for a little longer. She smiles in agreement. Once it starts getting dark, we say our goodbyes and part ways at the church. Same as when we first met. She watches me go until she vanishes from sight. As I head back towards the cabin, my head is swimming, or maybe drowning. It's hard to think of anything but Abigail, all alone in the middle of the forest, for centuries. What's her story? I want to know, but I doubt I ever will. Yet I'm already looking forward to seeing her again. Even though in the back of my mind, I'm aware that Tara and I will only be here a few more weeks. It seems almost cruel, knowing that this is all so short-lived. If I were her, would I rather have a few weeks of happiness just to lose it again? Or never have anything at all? The question makes my head and heart hurt. The walk back feels like it goes by much quicker than my journey to the clearing and then the church. As I get closer to the cabin, I can see that the windows are dark. Tara must be in town or out with Morgan somewhere. I wonder if she noticed I was gone. My musing is interrupted by the sudden sound of footsteps in the snow. The mare steps out from behind a tree, just like Abigail did earlier. Good evening, Madison. Evening, Miss Mare. Where have you been? I freeze. Her tone is sharp, no pretense of being conversational. The glare is even sharper. Does she know about Abigail? Or about the forest spirit? Surely she would have mentioned it if so. My mind reels while I stall for time. I was out for a walk in the forest. I'm bad at lying, so I try to just tell her half-truths. I can see that. Where did you go? Around. I was just walking around. Needed the fresh air. Alone? Where is your friend? Or my daughter? With each question she asks, she takes a near imperceptible step closer. I shrug, trying to look indifferent. I don't think it's working. I'm not sure. Tara and I had an argument earlier. I wanted to be alone. An argument? Regarding what? She's far too close for comfort now. Close enough that she could reach out and grab me by the throat if she wanted to. Still, I'm so taken aback by the nerve of her asking about my personal issues that my voice comes out stronger than I could have hoped for. I'm sorry, but I'm not comfortable talking about it. The mare regards me for a long moment. Her nostrils flare. I meet her gaze and don't look away, even though I desperately want to. I half expect her tongue to shoot out and taste the air like a snake. It feels as if she can see right through me. I'm almost certain that she knows I'm hiding something from her, more than just my argument with Tara. I see. She flips her hair and walks past me, heading into the forest. Be careful, Madison. The woods are dangerous on your own. I stand there, heart in my throat, until the sound of snow under her feet fades into silence. Shuddering, I hurry the rest of the way to the cabin. A bright burst of light jerks me awake. I groan, getting ready to toss a pillow at Maddie and demand she turn the light back off. It's so bright. It hurts when I try to open my eyes. But when I do, I realize the light is coming from the window, and it's not a window I recognize. Uh-oh. Tara and Morgan wake up naked in bed together, covered with blankets. Morgan is still sleeping, while Tara is sitting up. Morgan is starting to stir next to me, an adorable little smile on her face. It's so cute that for a minute it distracts me from the fact that she's completely naked. It takes another second for me to realize that I am too. I yank the covers up to my chest to, well, cover myself. Memories of last night start to come back in bits and pieces. We'd been going over notes about something, and admittedly I might have gotten a little too flirty. But next thing I know, we're kissing. Books are on the floor and I hear papers crumpling underneath my butt. And once I said yes, I couldn't even wait to get to the bed before she started undressing me. And it's not that I'm complaining, but it was definitely the last possible way I thought she'd respond. At least now I remember why I'm sore. It isn't long before Morgan opens her eyes as well. The rest of her face doesn't move as she wakes up. She sleeps with that same blank face she has when she's awake. Good morning, Tara. Her voice seems a little different. Softer, maybe? I have no idea, but it's kinda nice. Hey, yeah, good morning. I cringe at the sound of my own voice. That was way too loud. I need to do a better job of keeping my cool. How'd you sleep? Better than I have in a long time. I smile. Although you do snore, loudly. I try not to let my smile break. I mean, she's right, but only when I lay on my back. I try to think back on a long list of awkward morning afters and pick out a good comeback, but everything grinds to a halt as soon as I feel her lips press against my side. It's just a tiny peck, the kind I'd give a cute fan, but she also blows a tiny puff of hot air onto my skin that makes me shiver. I can feel my face turning as red as my hair, and know a comeback's not happening. Tara, are you okay? I need to say something to get back on top of this mess. All I can do is stare down at her. Those bright green eyes, that soft face, that messy orange hair. Tara? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking that, well, you're cute. Hey, I've had worse lines. I can't see her face, but I think I hear her chuckle. Or something like it. I should probably get up too, but I can't help taking a minute to stare. Maddie always gets on me for being thirsty, but I think I earned it this time. Her curves, her muscles. She's like someone asked me every last detail about what my type was, then turned her real. This village is a dream come true. My clothes are spread across the floor and it takes me a minute to hunt them all down once I'm out of bed. Actually, that's how they usually are at home too. I've got more important things than clothes to keep in my dresser. Morgan's already dressed by the time I get everything together, with her hair back in its usual pigtails. Cute as they are, I kinda miss how it looked down. Hey, so, is something wrong? Your mum isn't home, right? I'm pretty sure she won't be happy if she sees me coming out of your room first thing in the morning. You made enough noise last night that she'd know anyway. I don't think she's going to do anything about it. I feel like I'm burning up, but her expression is the same as ever. It's not even trying to be smooth, and she's still better at it than I am. And I'm already really good. Great, yeah, cool. Glad we don't have to worry. I'm going to make some coffee for us. That's my bra, by the way. No wonder it felt so loose. She's out the door, leaving me to search for more clothing, and think about the conversation Morgan and I are going to have when she gets back. Oh boy. I'm still thinking about what I want to say when she returns with the coffees. Already chugging hers down. I usually make it strong, but I put plenty of cream and sugar in yours, so you should be fine. I normally take it black, actually. I saw your daily routine video. I know how you take your coffee. I don't even know why I'm bothering with the usual cool routine at this point. I should just accept that I'm beat. I take a tiny sip of the coffee and nearly fall back down on the bed. Even with the cream and sugar, this is the strongest thing I've ever tasted. She drinks this black? Is it too much? I can put some liquor in it if you want. Isn't it like 8 in the morning? Yes. Why do you ask? I sigh and take another bitter sip. The last thing I need right now is alcohol. Hey, so I think we need to talk. Sure. What about? I'm not sure if she doesn't know or just doesn't care what I'm going to say. From the way she's acted so far, I'm pretty sure it's the second one. Look, you're a really great person. I really like hanging out with you. And I had a great time last night. I know. She needs to stop making me blush. I probably look the same way Mads does every time I try to introduce her to a cute girl. I just want to make sure we're clear on what that was all about. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I mean, I'm not really the dating type, and I'm gonna be leaving in a month. I'm happy to do stuff like this, as long as it's... Tara. She doesn't sound frustrated or upset. If anything, her voice is softer. We talked about this exact thing last night. You're cute, you're fun, and I really enjoyed having sex with you. But that's all this is, and neither of us expect or want anything different. You don't have to give me any excuses. Blunt as ever. She takes another sip of coffee as I breathe a sigh of relief. All that worrying for nothing. Great. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I'm glad that's settled then. I should feel relieved, relaxed, all that good stuff. With the rough part out of the way, I can go right back to being as intrepid and charming as always. So why do I feel like I'm the one who got let down here? This kind of thing shouldn't bother me, even if it didn't go the way I'm used to. This is why I hate taking time to think about things. So, did you make that sweater yourself? Morgan's eyes widen at my question. Looks like I found a good way to move on. I did, actually. My ex showed me how to knit a few years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. It's a nice way to pass the time. If you want, I could make you something to take home when you're done here. That'd be super cool. Everyone I know wears coats like Maddie's, or one of those big puffy marshmallow coats. I'm sure some hand-knit stuff would break the mold. The fact that you insist on going investigating in nothing but a light jacket made me assume you didn't like coats in general. Maybe I was just waiting to get in on the hip wool fashion trend. I catch her smiling in between sips. She might act different, but I get the feeling that we're on the same wavelength for some things. I mean, obviously, since we ended up together, but still. Well, not together, of course, but... I thought it was because of your shirt. You wear that same moon shirt in every vlog you do. I didn't expect it to be the same way in real life.
It was actually Maddie's idea, believe it or not. Something about having a visual brand for the sake of the show. I figured my award-winning smile would be enough. But I mean, as long as people like it.
I didn't realize she was that invested in the show. I figured she didn't care that much.
Ouch. Hearing her mention how distant Maddie seems is a pretty painful reminder of how much things have fallen apart between us. She used to be. Back when we started. She was a lot more invested in the whole thing. We've been inseparable since high school, and I figured she was really excited to keep that bond going strong.
That's pretty incredible. I don't think I've had any friendships that lasted more than a year.
I realized that she hasn't mentioned a single friend since we got here, and I guess claiming your cat talks to you probably doesn't score you points with anyone other than me. Oh yeah, it's been like around 10 years or something? Don't tell her I told you this, but we actually met because we were both total goths. I jump when Morgan suddenly bursts into laughter. I've only known her for about a week, but it feels weirdly unlike her. Probably because it's the most emotion she's shown since we met, and that includes last night.
I can't imagine Maddie walking around with raccoon eyes and dyed hair.
You have no idea. She was goth enough to put me to shame. Always talking about the darkness in her soul, chilling with all the other cool goth kids, calling herself a raven. It was great.
You are part of a group. Do you keep in touch with any of them? I'd hope at least one of them kept the look.
My smile fades as I look away from her. She couldn't have known that asking that would bring back bad memories, so I don't blame her. But the memories are still there. Not really. Most of them stopped talking to me when I told them I was trans, and the rest bailed as soon as I started to actually transition. Maddie was the only one who really stuck up for me. I'll never forget that. Morgan puts down her now empty mug. I'm not even halfway through mine.
I'm so sorry, Tara. I didn't mean to...
Nah, forget it. It's seriously okay. The whole thing's ancient history now. That isn't a lie. I feel a hell of a lot better about the whole thing now, but I know I'm doing way better than any of them. I can tell Morgan doesn't buy it, though. Better switch up the subject. Anyway, after that, the two of us were inseparable all through high school. We even picked the same college so it'd be easier to stay in touch. The only time our friendship was ever on the rocks was... well, maybe we shouldn't talk about that. I try not to grin when I see Morgan's eyes widen. Got him.
You wouldn't say that if you weren't going to tell me.
Well, I don't know. She leaves her mug on the table and moves closer to me. I definitely saw her smile for a second there.
The Tara I know would never pass up a chance to tell a story.
Well, if you insist. Maddie and I actually dated once, for a few weeks, back when we first started college. Everyone we knew was pairing off, so we figured we should try it too. It's our secret shame.
I'm not surprised. You two would make a terrible couple.
Geez, blunt much? You're not wrong, though. It nearly killed our friendship. Thankfully, we called it off and went back to being friends. We haven't had any trouble since.
Until now.
Yeah, until now. So much for lightening the mood. I don't know. I guess her deciding to walk away from everything we built together doesn't exactly make me feel jazzed about our friendship.
Her having different priorities doesn't have anything to do with friendship.
What, like going back to school? She hated school. So either that's some bullshit excuse or she just hates working on Tara Normal even more.
She was talking about coming back. Having real proof seems to have changed her mind.
And then what? She goes along with it for another few months and gets sick of it? I can't deal with that again. I can tell I'm getting louder, but I don't care. I haven't had a chance to let any of this out since it happened. Morgan, of course, doesn't even flinch. The thing is, now she's acting like she wants to be in on the action again? Am I really supposed to believe that she wants to commit to this? But I'm not an idiot. It's not like I'm ignoring the fact that she keeps running off to the woods to be by herself. I'm supposed to just be cool with that? Tara, I'm so sick of all this bullshit. Maybe I'd just be better off without... Tara. I jump as her voice drowns mine out completely. This burst of emotion isn't funny. It's honestly kind of terrifying. Stop. Just stop. You have no idea what you're talking about. You don't want Maddie to leave the show, but you're refusing to listen to her when she talks about coming back. You don't want to lose your friendship, but you're freezing her out when she tries to make connections again. I love your show. You know I do. But there are more important things in your life than talking about Bigfoot in front of a camera. Holy shit. What the hell was that? She just shot through my bullshit like some kind of forest-dwelling therapist. How am I supposed to respond to all that? All I can do is sit back down on the bed and let it wash over me. She sits down next to me and takes my hand in hers. She gives it a light squeeze. I squeeze back. I can already feel myself starting to calm down. When Morgan speaks again, her voice is back to its normal flatness. Talk to her. Tell her how you feel and what you need. You can't spend your whole time with me and expect her to feel appreciated. I don't want to leave you out, though. The whole reason we're here, plus, I really like spending time with you. I do too. But we'll have plenty of time together. We're here for an entire month. Yeah, of course. The word month makes me feel a weird little pang in my chest. For some reason, I don't want to think about how temporary this is. I let go of her hand to take another sip of coffee. It's barely lukewarm now, and I consider just spitting it back into the cup. That definitely wouldn't be a good look, though. Do you want me to take you back to the cabin? I think I'm gonna do a little more investigating here first. Give myself time to think about what I want to say to Mads. That's a good idea. Hey, first time for everything. She lets out another little laugh. It's not nearly as big as her earlier one, but it's really nice to hear it after all that heavy stuff. I'll go set up shop then. Come see me when you want to ride back. You got it. I stand and stretch, scanning the room one more time to see if I'm forgetting anything. Wait, are those my panties? Yeah, you're wearing mine. I try to will myself not to blush, determined not to let her get one more fluster in. Shit, sorry. I can change real quick. It's fine. You can wear them. Just give them back when you're done. My cheeks are burning again. So much for that. Oh, cool. Thanks. I guess I'll see you later then. Sure. You know where to find me. Without thinking, I lean forward and press my lips against hers. They're soft, somehow not nearly dried out by the cold air as mine are. Wait, why am I doing this? I jerk my head away, expecting to be met with an angry glare. But all I see is the corners of her mouth twitch up for a split second before she's back to neutral. Could be worse, right? Either way, it's definitely time for me to get the hell out of here. I head for the door, but something stops me before I actually leave. Thank you. Anytime. I don't know what I'm thanking her for. I'm not sure if she knows either. I'm out of the door and back into the village square, doing my best to leave my confusion behind me. I've got more important things to think about right now. I've got to think about what I'm going to say to Mads. Tell her I'm sorry for being an idiot, but I don't want this to screw up things more than it already has. As I think about it, I realize that I've got one more problem when it comes to her. If she finds out I slept with our host, she's gonna kill me.
Okay, I think that might be a good place to stop for today. Thank you all for joining me with today's reading, and I'll catch you all next time. I know it was a while for this one since the last episode. I promise that next time, hopefully, won't be as long as this one. I can't guarantee it, but I am going to try my best to make sure an episode comes out in a couple of days, not multiple weeks. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye.